Today, the aftermath of the ASWSU elections.
And a look at how WSU's head coach responded to taking down BYU. Coming up on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Smith.
And I'm Catherine Jones. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The ASWSU election results dropped last night. Jacob Martinez and Kiana Parsi won the vote. The team's campaign focused on several important topics, including representation of multicultural groups, sexual assault investigation transparency, payment for undocumented students, and increasing mental health resources for students. Both Martinez and Parsi have served on the ASWSU Senate and said that the experience prepared them for the roles of president and vice president. According to the Daily Evergreen, the opposition, Finch and Visser, lost the election by about 200 votes. Moving on, residents living on South Hill in Palouse will have to take alternative routes home. According to Pullman Radio, the F Street Bridge is closed indefinitely after a water main broke and washed out a support structure. The break also washed out road surface on the north end of the bridge. Palouse Mayor Tim Sievers says the city is working on the road, but there is no estimated date on when it may be repaired.
Pullman's Regional Hospital 15th annual fundraising gala will return May 14th after it was canceled last year due to COVID-19. The gala accounts for roughly 10% of funds that go towards capital improvements for the hospital. This year, the Hospital Foundation has a goal of raising $3 million to help expand the hospital's surgical space, purchase new surgical robots, and purchase a new electronic medical record system.
Yesterday, Idaho became the first state to enact a law modeled after a Texas statute banning abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. This allows lawsuits to be enforced to avoid constitutional court challenges, according to the Moscow Pullman Daily News. This follows a bill Washington Governor Jay Inslee signed last week prohibiting abortion lawsuits in the state. As you can see on your screen, it bars legal action against people seeking an abortion.
WSU students can look forward to Mindful Monday during Dead Week. On Monday, April 25th, the sports management program will host Mindful Monday in Ruby Park. According to the Daily Evergreen, the event will feature yoga sessions, a boxing station, and different food trucks. Admission to the event will be free.
According to the Daily Evergreen, WSU researchers are studying how brain activity changes under chronic stress. Department of Integrative Physiology and Neuroscience Assistant Professor Ryan McLaughlin says his team hypothesizes that exposure to chronic stress will cause a decrease of dopamine in the brain. Over time, individuals exposed to chronic stress will start to interpret neutral signals from their environment as bad and bad signals as terrible. A BIPOC panel at WSU that is set to honor persons of color.
And an arrest ends with a gang member in federal prison. Find out what they did next on Murrow News 8.
I did not like that tease.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
The Office of Outreach and Education and the Academic Success and Career Center will be hosting a virtual panel on Black, Indigenous, and People of Color career success. The panel, titled Thriving Authentically, Ascending Industry as a Black, Indigenous, and a Person of Color, will take place on March 31st at 5 p.m. This event will focus on panelists offering invaluable insight on their career paths and how they grew their professional and cultural identities. This event is free to the public, but registration is required. The Spokane gang member that Whitman County Sheriff's deputies arrested in February of last year is heading to federal prison, according to Pullman Radio. Federal prosecutors identified 31-year-old Daniel Sali as a Nortereno gang member. Sali pleaded guilty to heroin trafficking. He was sentenced to just over 4 years in prison in the U.S. District Court in Spokane yesterday.
Well, Connor, I noticed that I had to wear a light jacket on the way to work this morning. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
Thanks, guys. Spring is here to stay and has been, so that means that no matter how many clouds you may see in the sky this week, don't be fooled, because it is still the type of weather where, like you said, Catherine, a light jacket, or not even a jacket at all, or you can wear shorts or anything like that, any kind of summer weather, because the sun is peeking out little by little this week, and it's going to stay that way. If you look over here, you'll see a high of 50 and a low of 10, which is much less warm than we've normally been seeing these last few weeks, but that's about what we can expect for today. And if we move into tomorrow, we can find that temperatures are going to be about the same, with a high of 59, a low of 41, with after daylight saving time. A sunset of 7:08 p.m., which I'm very excited about. I love those long days. And overall, we can see that weather's starting to warm up. It was a lot hotter last week, and this week it's starting to still keep that consistency, and it's still looking pretty good overall. And like I said, partly cloudy, but still the sun is creeping out more and more. And if we can move over to the state map, we can find that over here, our friends in Spokane can have about the same weather that we've been having, a high of 55 and a low of 36. So that's pretty consistent over on the east side. If we move over into the middle of the state, we can find that Tri-Cities and Yakima is even hotter than we've been having, which for some people in Pullman think they got to be kidding me. But a high of 63 and a low of 40, which is something that we might be expecting later in this week, but I won't spoil it yet. And over on the west side, we can find my family over in Seattle will have a high of 54 and a low of 43, which is something that they are really excited about, especially considering, like us, those partly cloudy skies are really more sun than they are clouds. And in Olympia, pretty much about the same weather at a high of 48 and a low of 33. And if we look over into the 5-day newscast, we can perfectly see that it's pretty consistent throughout the rest of the week. We can see Thursday is going to be partly cloudy. Friday is going to be sunny, which I'm very happy about. It's going to be a little bit warmer. Saturday is going to be partly cloudy. Sunday, clear. And then Monday, it is going to rain. But overall, it's looking pretty good for me, I would say. Overall, like I said, partly cloudy, but those clouds are very minimal. That's all I got for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
I'm definitely glad it's warming up. We're getting that spring weather. I wore a t-shirt yesterday. Kind of blew my mind.
I'm ready to go through my closet and put all of those winter parkas away. Super excited for that nice weather.
While the weather's warming up, nothing's as hot as our men's basketball team right now. The Cougs men's basketball team is on their way to the semifinals.
Find out the head coach's peculiar celebration after the break.
I'm Chris Mitchell with your sports. Michael Flowers led WSU past BYU in last night's 77-58 win in the Cougar-on-Cougar NIT quarterfinals. The senior guard scored 27 points, including 4 threes, to break Klay Thompson's school record for made three-pointers in a season. The Cougs will look to knock off another 1 seed in Texas A&M as they take the floor at Madison Square Garden on March 29th. And head coach Kyle Smith embodied the spirits of both Cougs everywhere and the big dance, as we'll see him dancing in the locker room after the game via Noah Williams' Instagram Live. And WSU baseball fell to Santa Clara yesterday evening, 9-2 down in California. The trouble for the Cougs came in the 4th and 5th inning as Santa Clara scored 4 and 3 runs back-to-back. The bright spots for the Cougs came from Bryce Matthews' 2-run double, and Kyle Russell extended his on-base streak to 13 games. The road trip for the Cougs is going to continue as a 3-game series at Stanford starts tomorrow. And sophomore guard Charlize Ledger-Walker has been named a regional finalist for the 2022 Women's Basketball Coaches Association All-American team. Specifically, Ledger-Walker is up for the Region 5 team, where the player pool comes from West Coast schools. This is the second year in a row that she has earned this honor, in addition to being the leading scorer in the Pac-12 back-to-back years. Moving on to more professional sports, Major League Baseball's opening day is 2 weeks from today, and the Mariners have been making some changes to the spring training roster over the last few days. 3 AAA players were called up to join the team for spring training, including shortstop Connor Hoover, outfielder Colin Davis, and catcher Freudy Batista. Additionally, the signing of veteran reliever Sergio Romo became official today, and Romo's most notable time came from the San Francisco Giants. That's all I have for sports today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Chris. A fundraiser in Pullman is coming to support the people of Ukraine.
And a scholarship program for women in high school. What that entails coming up next.
Days, months,
hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. We lose some of the best moments, some that may never repeat,
Come on.
or detach from people around us. Our loved ones grow used to this pattern, but it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. It's never too late to live a full life again. Hear how many of us Vietnam veterans have managed our mental health and reconnected with our families. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Village Center Cinemas will be hosting a fundraiser for Ukraine starting tomorrow night. The film, entitled The Guide, will be shown each night at 7:40 p.m. The Guide focuses on an American boy who gets caught up in the 1930s Russian overthrowing of Ukraine. Tickets are $8, and all proceeds will be donated to Ukrainian relief as part of the campaign to stand with Ukraine.
The Pullman Distinguished Women's Scholarship Program takes place this Saturday night. According to Pullman Radio, the program starts at 7 p.m. at Pullman High School, and tickets for the event are $20 for adults and $10 for students. 7 young women are participating in the event, and the winner will advance on to the state competition in August.
Well, it sounds like a really amazing program, and what a great way to wrap up Women's History Month.
Right. I mean, I know scholarships are the most important thing to get you through college, so to have a distinguished program for women sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait to see all the different women come together.
Right. Thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8, and you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Have a great night.